There are messages all around you. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear, hidden messages, messages that are in disguise, you are being blessed and taught every minute of your life. So recently, I was sick. I had a 24-hour bug that kicked me out. I was out. I've never had an experience like that before where I actually slept pretty much the whole day. I was in bed or just in the bathroom all day. I've never had a sickness quite like that. And so all day I didn't eat, other than later in the day I had a piece of toast. The next day I had a banana, and I drank as much as I could throughout that time. The first day, barely anything. The second day, a little bit more. And so basically what that sickness did for me is it forced me into a 2-day fast. A 2-day fast. And I've been talking for a while now about how I want to get healthier. I want to take more control over my physical body. I want to take better care of myself. And I want to get back into a state of energy. Where I noticed when I did the 75 hard a couple years ago, and I got down to 180 pounds, I just felt like I had so much more energy. I felt more alive, like I was able to move easier, and it felt really good. And then after, I stuck to that for about 6 months. And then I ran a half marathon, and then I was sore. And so I'm like, I'll just give myself a break. And I didn't exercise for a day or 2 or 3 because I was still sore. And then after that, it was much more difficult to get myself back up and going. And then I proceeded to do the 75 easy. And over the next year and a half, the 45 pounds I released came back. And so now I'm in a state where I'm like, okay, I know what it was like to be at that state, and it felt good. And I know where I'm at now, and I can see that I don't have as much energy. And it's a little bit more draining to move and play with the kids, and I don't like that. I want to be able to get back. And so I've been wanting to do a fast for a while. And so the sickness came, and it gave me a forced 2-day fast, which I don't know if I've ever done a 2-day fast like that before. I've done a 1-day fast multiple times throughout my life, but a 2-day, I don't think I've ever done that. And so what's come after that is now my stomach isn't as large as it was before. And so I'm finding myself getting satisfied or content much more quickly than I was before. And so now, as I recognize that, instead of just falling back into my old habits, I can say, no, I'm going to listen to my body, and I'm just going to eat until I'm full. If I'm not hungry, I don't need to eat. But I can drink lots of fluids and make sure I get out and exercise. So I'm out on a walk this morning, and that's something I've been attempting to do last year. I was trying to put this into place so that I'm doing a YouTube video every single day, and I'll walk or run a mile. That's like what I'm trying to put into place. That's just, it's known. That's what I do, so that there's no question, there's no fight against it. It's just normal. And so the YouTube videos, talking to you here, that's actually become pretty normal. It's been consistent. Almost 2 years now of every day. And so even when I was sick and in bed, it was like, okay, what's the message today? What can I share with you? And so that's pretty consistent. Now it's the exercise piece. And so the sickness brought with it a blessing in disguise. And so in your life right now, you may be in some deep valleys. You may be going through some experiences that at this moment seem painful, uncomfortable. And so maybe you don't see it right now, but can you trust that there's a hidden message, that there's a blessing in disguise in your experience? Maybe you don't see it right now, but can you at least trust that there is one? And maybe even just ask yourself, okay, what's the blessing in this? What is this teaching me? What are the opportunities that I have in this experience? What does this open me up to experience? And as you do that, maybe you'll be able to see some things that were right in front of you, but you just didn't really notice because you weren't looking for it. But it's there. I promise you that it's there. There's messages around us all the time. There's a flower that I saw on the walk this morning. It just stood out. And so I went to the flower and I said, okay, what message do you have for me today? And I wrote it down. And many people might say, well, yeah, that's a flower. Most people would notice it. Okay. But did you go up to the flower and say, what message do you have for me today? And write down the thoughts that come. That's the next step. You can do that. As you look at your situation right now that you're in, ask, what message do you have for me? What are you teaching me? What opportunities are you giving me? And then write down the thoughts that come. You are a miracle. You have a purpose. You are here for a reason. I believe in you, and that's why I'm here for you every single day. So if today's message was for you, go and like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends and loved ones, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.